How to stop caring about gossip. A mindset for peaceful living. Have you ever been talked about behind your back? Most likely because that's almost unavoidable in life. Some people speak ill of you out of jealousy. Some do it because of misunderstandings. And some do it simply because they enjoy it. Whatever the reason, gossip can hurt. It can make you feel upset, frustrated, even angry. You might feel the urge to react immediately, defend yourself, explain things, or even argue to prove your point. But have you noticed? The more you react, the deeper you fall into a spiral of negativity. So the question is there a better way to deal with gossip, one that keeps your peace of mind intact? You may already have your own answer, but before we dive deeper into this topic, take a moment to sit down and make yourself a cup of tea. Take a deep breath and let the aroma fill the air around you. Because just like tea, life can be bitter or sweet. But how you savor it determines your experience. Now, let me share with you a short yet profound story from the Buddha. And if you've been feeling upset because someone has been speaking ill of you, this story might just shift your perspective. The story of the Buddha and the man who insulted him. One day, as the Buddha was giving a teaching, a man approached him and began to hurl insults at him. Harsh, angry words meant to humiliate the Buddha in front of the crowd. What surprised everyone was that the Buddha didn't react. He showed no anger, didn't argue, and didn't even seem upset. He simply listened in silence. When the man finally ran out of insults, the Buddha calmly asked him, "If someone offers you a gift, but you choose not to receive it, to whom does the gift belong?" Still fuming with anger, the man replied instinctively, "Well, it would still belong to the one who offered it, of course." Exactly, just like your insults. If I choose not to receive them, they still belong to you. What makes this story so powerful? The Buddha's teaching is incredibly simple, yet deeply profound. Hurtful words from others can only harm you if you choose to accept them, dwell on them, and allow them to affect your mind. But of course, understanding this in theory is one thing. Living it is another. When someone speaks badly about us, most of us feel upset. We want to defend ourselves, argue, or lash back. So the real question is, how can we remain calm and centered in the face of gossip or insults? And even more importantly, how can we use these moments as opportunities to grow? Let's dive deeper into these questions in the next section. When someone speaks ill of you, what's your first reaction? Maybe you feel angry, hurt, or wronged. You might want to confront them, explain yourself, or even fire back with sharper words. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, will that actually help? The truth is, there are many reasons why someone might speak negatively about you, but more important than why they do it is how you choose to respond. Instead of drowning in negative emotions, try to see the situation as an opportunity to learn and grow. First, understand the real reason. If someone speaks badly about you due to a misunderstanding, the first thing you should do is communicate. Try having an open, sincere conversation to clear things up. Sometimes just one honest talk can resolve everything. But if after talking, they continue to speak ill of you, then let time do its job. Those who truly care about you will eventually recognize the truth for themselves. If someone speaks badly about you out of jealousy, remember, that's their issue, not yours. Your success may make them uncomfortable, but that's no reason for you to stop striving. And if someone tries to elevate themselves by tearing you down, then it's not even worth your concern, because anyone who relies on belittling others to feel important will eventually be brought down by their own attitude. Don't let your sadness come from misplaced expectations. Every relationship has two sides. Some people come into your life with sincerity, while others come only for their own gain. And when that gain is gone, they may walk away, or worse, speak badly about you. But ask yourself this: are you expecting too much from people? Do you expect everyone to like and understand you? Is that really realistic? Do you expect all relationships to last forever? Yet change is the very nature of life. Do you hope everyone will always be fair? But not everyone has the integrity to do so. If you feel hurt or resentful, it may simply mean you've been placing your hopes in the wrong place. Instead of suffering, be grateful. Grateful that life has revealed who truly deserves your time, trust, and energy. Lessons from real life. Look at some of the most successful people in the world. None of them reached the top without being criticized. Oprah Winfrey, the queen of American television, was once fired from her job because she was deemed unfit for TV, but she didn't let that define her. Instead, she used those very criticisms to become one of the most iconic media figures in history. Michael Jordan, the basketball legend, was once cut from his high school team. If he had given up because of that rejection, the world would never have witnessed one of the greatest athletes of all time. They could have held on to bitterness, but instead, they chose to turn criticism into fuel for growth. What about you? The last time someone spoke badly about you, how did you respond? Did you let it bring you down with sadness and anger? Or did you choose to learn from it and rise above? Because ultimately, how you respond to criticism defines who you become. But even if you understand this lesson, you might still wonder, should I speak up? Should I defend myself? The answer is, not always. Because here's the truth. People who talk behind your back usually don't care about the truth. So instead of wasting your time trying to explain, is there a better way to respond to gossip and false judgment? The answer lies in the next mindset shift. Don't try to explain. Silently work and let results speak. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt the urge to explain yourself when someone misunderstood or misjudged you? You might have thought, if I clarify things, they'll change their mind. If I tell the truth, people will believe me. If I defend myself, everything will be resolved. But is reality really that simple? Those who have already chosen to believe something false about you, do they truly care to hear the truth? Remember this, the people who truly understand you don't need an explanation. The people who don't want to understand you won't believe you, no matter what you say. When explaining changes nothing, let your results speak. History is full of people who were doubted, criticized, even ridiculed. And instead of wasting energy trying to convince the world, they chose to let their actions tell the story. Albert Einstein was once labeled by his teachers as slow and unlikely to succeed. If he had tried to argue back, would anyone have believed him? Instead, he let his groundbreaking theories speak for themselves. J.K. Rowling was rejected by more than a dozen publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. If she had tried to explain its value to each editor, would that have helped? Instead, she kept writing, and her success told the world everything it needed to know. That's how you respond to judgment and gossip. Not with words, but with growth. The more you try to explain yourself, the deeper you fall into their trap. Have you ever noticed this? People who gossip or speak ill of you rarely care about the truth. What they really care about is spreading a version of the story that benefits their narrative. And when you try to explain yourself, what happens? You unknowingly hand them more ammunition, more words they can twist, more emotions they can mock, more reactions they can manipulate. The more you explain, the more they feel justified to attack. The more you react, the more they gain power over your energy. The more you argue, the more the story gets distorted. So, what's the smarter move? Not to engage in verbal battles, but to focus inward, to keep building yourself up, keep doing the work, keep walking your path. Because silence, when rooted in strength and clarity, can be louder than 1,000 justifications. Turn criticism into fuel for growth. People who speak ill of you might hurt you, but they don't get to decide who you become. Try looking at it this way. If someone says you're not good enough, prove them wrong by growing a little stronger every day. If someone says you'll fail, use that as motivation to work harder and rise higher. If someone says you don't deserve it, let your results and personal growth speak louder than any words. As Frank Sinatra once said, success is the best revenge. There's no better response than quietly becoming the best version of yourself. Instead of focusing on their negativity, ask yourself, how can I grow and improve every single day? How can I prove my worth without saying a word? How can I live so well that their gossip fades into silence? Let your actions be your statement, and let your evolution be your victory. Training the mind, let them talk, you stay at peace. Have you ever heard the saying, people may throw mud at you, but whether you let it dirty you or not is your choice. The truth is, no matter how talented or kind you are, there will always be people who dislike you, gossip about you, or even make up stories to slander you. We can't control what others say, but we can control how we respond. So, how can we maintain inner peace when faced with negative words? Realize that words can't hurt you unless you allow them to. Imagine one day you're taking a walk in the park when suddenly a stranger passes by and throws an insult at you. How would you react? If it came from someone you love, you might feel hurt. But if it came from a random stranger, chances are you just shake your head and walk away. This shows that you're not hurt because of their words, but because you allowed them to get to you. The story of the Buddha and the man who insulted him illustrates this perfectly. If you don't accept the gift of negativity someone tries to give you, then it still belongs to them, not you. Lesson to take away. When someone speaks badly of you, ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? If it's just baseless talk, why carry it with you? Understand that other people's words reflect them, not you. A kind-hearted person will always notice the good in others. On the other hand, those who constantly criticize and gossip are often dealing with inner insecurity, envy, or dissatisfaction with their own lives. If someone is constantly nitpicking and judging you, remember this. They're revealing what's inside them, not who you are. A successful person tends to uplift and inspire others. A struggling person often tries to drag others down with them. So the next time someone speaks badly about you, just smile and think, maybe they're dealing with something of their own. Don't let their words shake your sense of worth. Focus on what you can control. Here's a truth you need to accept. You can't control what people say, but you can control how you respond. You can't stop others from gossiping, but you can choose to ignore it. You can't change their opinions, but you can focus on growing yourself. You can't control their emotions, but you can cultivate peace within your own. Remember, happy people don't have time to speak badly of others, and often, the ones being talked about are those who are moving forward. So instead of trying to silence the gossip, just live well and stay true to your values. Eventually, you'll realize those negative words no longer matter. Practice exercise. Let go of the gossip. Now, try this simple exercise to truly release the negative words others have said about you. 1. Write down all the negative comments you've ever heard about yourself, maybe from family, friends, or colleagues. 2. Read each one and ask yourself, is this really true? If it's not, cross it out. If it is, see it as a chance to grow. 3. Tear up the paper or burn it, a symbolic act of release, reminding yourself not to carry those words anymore. 4. Then, write a positive affirmation. I am not defined by others' words. I know my true worth. Read it daily to reinforce your confidence. Benefits of this exercise. Helps you realize that most negative comments have no real basis. Trains your mind to care less and focus more on what truly matters. Builds inner strength so you won't be shaken by meaningless judgments. Life was never meant to please everyone. There will always be negative words, misunderstandings, and baseless criticisms. But you don't have to let those things control your emotions. Staying calm in the face of praise or blame, and focusing on your own path, that is the way of those who are truly strong. Now that you've learned how to let go of gossip and negativity, sit with me, take a quiet sip of tea, and reflect on everything we've explored together. And remember, the greatest lesson isn't about avoiding criticism, but about learning how to rise above it with peace and confidence. Stay calm through gossip. Stay free on your own path. You see, in this life, we cannot control what others say behind our backs, but what we can control is our own mindset in the face of gossip. If you care too much about every criticism, you'll end up living in frustration and resentment. If you try to explain yourself to everyone, you'll wear yourself out and lose who you are. But if you choose calmness, letting negative words drift away like passing wind, you'll feel freer and lighter than ever before. So ask yourself, is it really worth getting upset over something that isn't true? Do you need to argue with people who never cared to understand you in the first place? Or is it better to keep walking silently forward and let your results speak for themselves? If you found these reflections helpful, don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts. And if you have a story about how you faced and overcome gossip, I'd love to hear it. See you in the next tea session. Wishing you peace always.